So this is the employee postings board. You can see it's by the food and beverage office. And this is an area, all of this space can be used to post things that you want other employees to know about, like maybe you're selling a car, or maybe you are looking for a roommate. All of the instructions are right here. It's really easy. Whatever you want to have posted, you can either email it to me or bring it to me. I'll sign it and then we'll put it up here. So we're going to also be posting current job postings. These are things that we're hiring for around the property. You'll notice that there's the title of the position, the department, who the contact is, and maybe a little bit that you want to note about it. Go ahead, check that out, and learn about all the great jobs that we're offering. Okay, this is the deliveries area. We are right outside Brittany's office. And this is important every day. This area and this area need to be checked by managers, bussers, and stockers. And frequently the deliveries need to be put away. And then this is not an area to store the cardboard. We need to break it down and have it go out back so it always looks nice and clean like this. Okay, I wanted to do a quick review again of the chipped plates that are okay to keep. So, this is the type of plate we want to keep because it is the Churchill brand. This is a good example right here. This plate we don't want to keep because we can't do anything with it and we don't get credit for it. So that can just be gone. Same with this one. We don't get credit for it, so that one can just be gone. This is another good example. This is a plate that we get credit for. And if you're questioning, you can always look at the back and see that it does in fact say Churchill brand on it. Okay, by the end of today, these are all going to have signs on them. So you need to be sure to stock plates to where their sign is. If you see somebody doing it incorrectly, just go ahead and show them where it goes. Also, on these shelves, if it says chef's table only, then it is a dish that is only used for chef's table, so do not take it for the restaurant. Always be checking the dish station to see if you can restock from there first. So this is how the room looked before anybody came in for service. So this is an unacceptable way to leave a room at the end of the night, because what we have going on here is a bunch of employee things that weren't taken out. We have linens that weren't cleaned up, and we have all of this going on over here. So every night, if we're folding linens, it all just needs to get put back in the linen station. Okay, we have two different types of glasses now. This is the glass we used to use for water. This is the bamboo glass, and it's what we use for water and iced tea. So this glass doesn't need to be stocked at any of the stations. The bar is just going to use it for soda. This is a bad example because the glasses are sitting out the top of it, which means it's not going to stack nice and we're going to lose our rack. Alright, so Chad's got the good example going on here where he's put 3 extenders onto these racks. We have more on the way, and so these fit nice and tight inside of here so they're not going to fall over. This again is a bad example where they're sitting over the top. So there's some of these racks. Chad's going to switch them out for us so that they're always like these nice and tall ones. And then if you see things like this or like this, bad. We just want to stock short glasses in that. So this is an example right here of the type of glass we would stock into there. It's the pineapple glasses or the soda glasses. Okay, let's talk about ramekins. We have 2 ramekins. One's 1.5 ounce, one's 2.5 ounce. Butter, ketchup. Don't put ketchup in this, it's not enough for the guest. Don't put butter in this, it's too much for the guest. Plus we want some standardization. So again, butter in 1.5, ketchup in 2.5. Okay, so we're going to talk about ramekins a little more, and this is in regards to when somebody wants a side of something. So this is a large ramekin that we have. This fits about 3.5 to 4 ounces. So if somebody asks for a side of garlic aioli, this is way too big to send out to them. In fact, it kind of just looks a little bit silly when we do that. So we want to be using this size as much as possible for sides of aioli or ketchup or things like that. Then this is a great little device, and I've now stocked some at the line that we can use for side of salad dressing. And it's nice that way because it has that little lip where they can pour it. So sides of vinaigrette, sides of salad dressing, let's use this guy. This is really just for the kitchen to use a side egg. If you see a side coming out in this, like a side aioli, go ahead and ask the kitchen to just replate it into one of these. Thanks. Okay, so just a reminder that we always want to be using a freshie when we crumb our tables, and that we only take it to the back, quickly go like this, roll it up, come back to the floor to use it. We only use that one time. Then we throw it in the linen thing. I also want to remind you that we need to be crumbing chairs. So after a table is left, slide out the chairs, give them a quick crumb, and then put the chair back in. Okay, so let's talk about the bussing carts and when we bus to them. This is something that we cannot have happening. This is where we've stacked different types of plates on other different types of plates. What this does is it causes an uneven thing and will lead to breakage and chippage. So it's very important that when we bus back to the bussing carts that we're bussing same to same. So if you see a stack, say I'm coming here and I already see a stack of these, then I'm gonna bus to there. Let's say I'm walking back here and I don't see a stack of these, it means I'm gonna create a new stack. So again, bussing same to same. And then when we go to take them back to the dish pit, we're not gonna stack like this and carry because it's just as bad and they're gonna chip. So we wanna just take the whole cart back there and take out each rack, set it up to the dish so that we're always bussing same to same and washing same to same. Okay, let's talk about high chairs. We've standardized where they are stored. So here we're at the drink running station and you can see there's a sign and we have our wooden high chairs here because they're nicer to have in our guest view. And the happy hour sign that the hosts put out is now stored right here. This is the second location we have for our high chairs. You can see plastic ones stacked with plastic, wooden stacks with wooden. Do not stack wooden or plastic with each other because it causes the wooden ones to feel pressure and break. And this is the third location for our high chairs. We have plastic ones here and plastic only, not the wood. And that's right outside of table 504 for easy access. We can start over. Hi, so let's talk about a few things with the point of sale. The first thing I want to address is that moving forward, support staff, which would be runners and bussers, should not ring anything in. I know that we did that in the past, but we've now moved to a place where we have more management and server support. So your response anytime somebody asks you if you could bring them another drink or whatever, then you just let them know, I'll be letting your server know to place that order. That way the server has the opportunity to either clarify the order with the guest or go and do an upsell. Maybe they already had something in mind. Maybe someone else at the table already ordered another bottle, and then they also can ring it in correctly on the point of sale. Now we're at our point of sale, and we're gonna open it up, and you're gonna notice that some modifiers have changed. So all of the ways that we will modify items will only be done where we say add a side or no. There are not substitutions and there is not on the side. So let's say a table's ordering the chickpea cake and they do not want harissa cream. Then you just go in and you select no harissa cream. Now let's pretend that we have a table who's ordering the chickpea cake and they want the harissa cream on the side. We would put no harissa cream and then we would choose a side of harissa cream. You'll also notice in some of them that the only things that you can modify on that dish are actually within a special category for that item. So let's look at the burger. We go into the burger and we see that we have a special category called burger mods. This is showing you what can be done for the burger. So we can add a side of jalapeno, but you'll notice that we are going to charge for it. We also can add a side of pickles, or we can add a side of a sous vide egg. What's important to note is that some of these present a charge, some do not, and that these will always be coming on the side. So if the expediter gets this ticket, they would not be putting jalapeno, pickles, or a sous vide egg on any burger. It would just be coming on the side. You'll notice that there's a lot of things here for the burger, which should make it easy, especially when it comes to simple things like they want no onion. It's all there for you. Let's talk about allergies. So I have a guest and they're ordering the shrimp dish, and they have a dietary restriction of gluten. So we're going to go into our modifiers here, and in the allergy category, you'll notice that some of these are stipulated as an actual allergy. So for example, celiac allergy is very different than a dietary preference to not eat gluten. So since our shrimp dish is gluten-free, I can select that. If it was celiac, we may have an issue due to cross-contamination. Also, let's pretend that they have a allergy to shellfish, and I ring that up. What's going to happen in this case is when the ticket gets fired to the kitchen, the expediter is going to call for hands. They're going to ask to speak to a manager. The manager will come over, and the expediter will explain that we cannot accommodate an allergy to shellfish on the shrimp dish. It's your responsibility as the server to already know that beforehand, because each time a ticket like that is rang in, we will be keeping record of that, and then we may have to evaluate a performance plan for you to improve yourself on your food knowledge. Stop. Okay, so a few more things about the point of sale that we want to remind you about, especially in regards to modifiers that already exist. When we come into our food mods, let's say that I put share the entire ticket. What's going to happen here is the entire ticket is going to be sailed to the middle of the table. So even though I rang things on different seat numbers, if I put share entire ticket, the entire ticket is going to be shared. Now let's say I go in here to my food mods and I select first out. That means that I'm firing all three of these at the same time, but the kitchen knows that the chickpea cake can hit the table before these other two items hit the table. This is going to be really useful in the event of a cakey item. So let's say we ring in a cakey fish and a chickpea cake for our cakey, and we mark it as first out, and then we ring in the adult food as well. The kitchen knows to send out these for the kid first, and then save these for later. Another time when these could be used is, let's say that we have an elderly person. Sometimes they'll let you know that we want this person to get their food first, or maybe they have a flight to catch. So we put that, the kitchen knows to expedite that and sail it first, and then to course this out as usual. This button should really be used sparingly. So now let's say that we have two-top dining and they order something to go. So they're like, we want to take home a musubi to the babysitter because she's been so great. So we'll go into our food mods and we're going to use to go on that. Now let's pretend that this entire thing is to go and you fired it this way. Only this item will be packed to go. So what we want to do is go into here, find our food mods, and we want to do the entire ticket to go. Okay, one other thing I want to know about the point of sale is using the food mod called Send When Ready. So Send When Ready means that the entire ticket is just going to sail as it comes up. So we all know that the musubi is probably going to hit the line, or the bean stew will hit the line before the gnocchi does. So that means the musubi might get sold, and then the bean stew will get sold. So if you're coursing things out, you do not want to be using this modifier. This modifier is really for those cases where the table's sharing everything and they just want it whenever it's ready. Okay, So it's really valuable that we collect guest information. It can be used in a lot of different ways. So we'd like to try having servers help us out a little bit. What you'll want to let the host know is whether something is a visit note or a general note. Mostly you're going to be giving them general notes, which are going to stick with the guest forever. If you're a server who feels comfortable enough using the open table system, you can go to the iPad, and let's say that you're serving Fanny. You'll just go in here to general notes, and you might type that Fanny really enjoys Provence rosé, or that the pork belly dish is her favorite thing on our menu, or that she's been here 10 times and she raves about it every time she comes. All these little things are dots that we can use to connect to create a better experience for our guests. The other thing that we could use your help with is finishing tables when they're done. So let's say that I sat Catherine as the host at 5:03. Now let's pretend that Catherine's gotten up and she's left. It's very helpful if, as a server, you notice a table is now bussing, that you could help us out by going to the iPad and marking bussing needed. This way, the hosts can see that there's a bunch of tables coming up soon, and they can better strategize how to seat guests and take more walk-ins. The other thing that's incredibly helpful for us is if, once it's bussed and set, if you click on the table and you hit finish. This way the guest knows that that table's totally ready to go and that they can seat that. The more information they have in terms of that, the more walk-ins they can take, the more covers we'll do, and the more money that you'll make. Also, the more that we mark things accurately like that, those reflect in turn times. So then we can pull a turn times report and adjust our capacities to that. Basically what I'm saying by that is that we would have some people walk in on us during the video. I'm going to keep going though.
Great.
Basically what we would do is look at our turntable report and see that we're turning tables on average faster. We'll adjust our open table capacities, and that allows more reservations to book with us, again leading to more tables and more money for you. Okay, so we want to start handling the way that we treat VIPs and special requests for them a little differently. So what I'm talking about is when we have a upper manager, a manager, a chef who knows that a guest is coming in and we want to do something special for them. We'd like to start just asking, would you like to offer an appetizer, 2 appetizers, a dessert, or 2 desserts? Then the upper manager, the manager, or the chef should let us know what they'd like to have sent to the guest. And then in open table, we're going to put very clear notes that, as per Francesco, please offer 2 appetizers. What you'll do as the server is then go to the table and say, Francesco would like to offer 2 appetizers on the house tonight. Are there any dietary restrictions? May I guide you through the menu of appetizers? That way it gives the guest an opportunity to tell us about dietary restrictions, to pick out items off the menu that they want, and then to also feel really appreciated by us. Okay, this is the manager book, aka the manager Bible, and the managers have access to a lot of information in here, as you can see. But what's really important for you to note as a server or bartender is that we have a list of employees who are managers that have discounts. So this lets you know what types of discounts they get, and that should help you. Also, we have a list of different discounts that we give to people, such as Kama Aina, who our tenants are, and then next to each thing, it tells you what discount they get and how it is applied. So all those questions like, do we offer a discount to policemen? Or do we offer, a discount to concierge? It's all right here, and this is going to be in a Quizlet set of cards that you can study. And then as a server, a bartender, a manager, you will need to complete a quiz showing that you know what discounts we offer, who we offer them to, and how we apply them. Okay, so a few quick things I want to go over. One is always check humanity. Check your messaging, read all those messages. go into Humanity, adjust your notification settings, and make sure that you're always getting your Humanity forwarded to your email and you're checking it there, or that you're always going onto your actual Humanity and checking it. One very important announcement that went out this week is we had an update to the company's employee policy book, and that's in regard to shift coverage. So make sure you go on Humanity and read that. It's also posted in the hallway. I sent out another announcement that's in more detail for the servers and bartenders, but very quickly, make sure you know who has a trade account with us, how we apply it, and then also donation requests. Anytime somebody's asking about whether we might be interested in doing a donation, we just refer them to mauitropicalplantation.com/donations. And we don't give them a business card of anybody personal here. They can just go online and fill out the form there, and then the appropriate department manager will reach out to them. That's all about that. Okay, we just want to touch base on talking to expediters at the line. So only managers approach the expo or the expo line to speak. So this means that all requests from a server need to go through a point of sale or through a manager. If you need a refire, just go on the point of sale and fire the refire. If you need some assistance from a manager to know if something's possible, then just go talk to the manager. If you need to know about an allergy and it can be accommodated, go to the allergy book in the hallway. There's a lot of resources for you, but servers and bartenders should not be going and talking to the expo. You may notice in the coming weeks that they say, I need a manager, or they may even call hands and ask you to go find a manager so that they can help work with a manager and address issues more quickly and professionally. Okay, so I wanted to leave you with a final thought this week discussing a little bit of teamwork and how we can all help each other out. So I wanted to talk about coming to work and looking for opportunities to be on one another's side. We talk a lot about how we want to make the guest feel like we're always on their side. It's really important when you come to work that you're aware of all the circumstances that are facing your coworkers and that you seize those opportunities to be on their side. So this starts from the moment you come to work and you're looking around the hallway, the dining room, the kitchen, that you're finding ways that you can, help someone out, be on their side, get things set up for success. Sometimes during service, an expediter might have 20 tickets facing them, and of course everybody wants everything on the fly, and we've got a cook on saute who's maybe getting all of the orders passed their way. Out on the dining room, there could be a server who's in a section that is just getting really pounded, they're like in the weeds. Invariably at any one of these moments, there's also going to be somebody nearby who's at a moment of control in their section or their station. And that's the time to just look next to you, see who's next to you, see who could possibly help you out or who you could help out. Because if you're having that moment of control in your section, it's a free moment to look around you and see, how can I be on someone else's side? The more that we find opportunities to be on one another's side, it means that we're going to build a lot of respect and we're going to build a lot of trust. And there's really no feeling like coming into work knowing that your teammates have your back, that no matter how in the weeds you get, that you can look next to you and see somebody who is united with you in their effort to give great service, but that also is looking for a chance to be on your side. So ask how you can help one another. Let your teammates know that you need help. It doesn't really take a lot more energy to do that. It almost takes more energy to come into a hallway and complain about how in the weeds you are, or to yell and scream at someone, or to blame something on someone else. All that's taking just as much energy as it would be to turn to someone and offer help, or turn to someone and ask for help. I hope that this week we can all take a minute as we're going into service and experiencing service to look for ways that we can be, united with each other in our effort to give great service at the Mill House and looking for opportunities to be on one another's side. Thank you.